And I'm back, everyone. So let's continue on further into the docks.
It read Pont de Nord, fine wine producers. I didn't recognize the label. The doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. Anyway, I didn't really want it as a souvenir. The sign looked as if it was firmly attached to the wall. It read Pont de Nord, fine wine producers. It was a beautiful piece of 19th century engineering, but not a lot of use to me. I couldn't reach the wheel and couldn't see any point in climbing up to it. The clamp was held in a mechanism which forced its jaws open. I decided not to tamper with the clamp. Those jaws looked like it could snap shut at any moment. The doors looked 100 years old, but they were still very sturdy. A sturdy chain and padlock hung around the door handles. It read Condor Transglobal. I'd come to the right place. Now all I had to do was get inside. This sign also looked firmly attached to the wall.
Okay, there's a number of ways you can do this bit. You have to get the guy who's inside, and we'll show you that in just a second, to open the door. But there are various things that's stopping you from doing it. But I'm going to show you each thing you can do when you actually do talk to him when he opens the grill, and what each one does. But that will be me going up and down the ladder multiple times and restoring the game to this point. So if we save the game here, we're now 25% through the game. I will show you that as we get through it. But for now,
There was a little grill set into the door.
let's just continue.
The grill opened from the inside. That door seemed to be the only way into the warehouse. The din must have drowned out the sound of my knocking.
Okay, let's go up here, shall we? Now I've heard they've actually
Maybe there was a way in.
I've heard they've actually remastered the death scenes in this, so I will be showing off some of the death scenes. I didn't do that in the first game. I didn't die at all.
The metal housing prevented me from getting to the fan. It was a duct from a ventilation fan. The window looked like it hadn't been opened for many years. The window was jammed shut. A fine old oak barrel. The clamp consisted of two metal jaws which would close when weight was applied to them.
Okay, so let's come over here.
The window wasn't fully shut. was the creep who'd kidnapped Nico, and I had a score to settle. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the fan. I wouldn't have been hurt over the din of the fan. It was a powerful fan. I couldn't reach the blades of the fan, which was just as well. If I'd stuck my fingers in there, I'd never be able to play guitar again.
That doesn't
Such
work.
a good idea. Nope. That isn't it at all.
Try this though.
That did the trick. The fan clunked and shorted out as its blades were mashed by the boat hook.
Hey, you make any more noise, I break your arms.
That bully needed to be taught a lesson.
Garzak's already mad because we didn't get the stone. You give me any trouble, I'll tell him it was all your fault.
Karzak? That must be his boss. The fan was a real mess. A splintered boat hook, dented blades, and a shorted motor. The boat hook was jammed in the dented fan blades. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. It was the creep who'd kidnapped Nico, and I had a score to settle. I decided there was a better way to attract their attention.
So let's go and see if we can grab his attention, shall we? Okay, I'm going to save the game here. And we're going to go and knock. And I'm going to show you each one. And I'll point this out to you in a minute. Right, let's start off with the pizza. And these are the 4 options that you've got.
Pizza delivery?
I didn't order pizza.
No? This is the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company, isn't it?
I don't like pizza.
Oh, come on. Everyone likes pizza. Maybe he was allergic to mozzarella. Hey,
What now?
look. This pizza's been paid for. You might as well take it.
I told you, I don't like pizza.
Not even with extra olives?
I hate them. Olives are the devil's butt nuggets.
If you know what's good for you, you'll open this door.
What if I don't?
I'll kick your head in.
Okay, I'll come out, you creep.
No.
If you stay here, but it doesn't make any difference. Oh, I thought there was a change of death scenes. Obviously not. No change of death scene.
Who is it?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
What do you want?
I've come for my girl.
No girls here.
Open up, creep. I got the feeling he wasn't too
Okay,
keen
so
to
that's
stay.
if you do that option. So what happens if you choose the other option? Well, remember that spider that he left for us that was quite lovely? Well, this is what George says if you choose the spider option.
Who is it?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
What do you want?
I want to return your spider. I pulled its legs off, which is exactly what I'm gonna do to you. I got the feeling he
Quite
wasn't
funny.
too pleased to see me.
And they'll do the next option.
Who is it?
Is this Condor Transglobal?
Nobody here. Go away.
I'll give you 5 seconds to let me in, or I'll bust down the door.
Okay. I'm coming.
He didn't
Nope,
sound
he
too
certainly
happy.
did not. And last but not least, the last option. Yeah, you've got 4 options, and each of them have their own very funny result. Funny stuff by George, by the guy there. We'll know his name very soon.
Who is it?
Police, we want to talk to you about abduction, arson, and attempted murder.
You got a warrant?
Sure, I got a warrant. Open the door, I'll show you.
You wait.
That's got him scared and angry.
Now, there's one more option you can actually choose. You can choose to go up here and wait for him to come out. Wait for him to just wait a few seconds and he'll go back in. Go back down the ladder and knock on the door again. I think you get another option, but I could be wrong.
Hey,
What now?
my name is Stobart, George Stobart.
What do you want?
I want to return your spider. I pulled its legs off, which is exactly what I'm gonna do to you. I got the
So we're
feeling
going to end it on
he
that
wasn't
one,
too pleased to
because
see
that's
me.
quite a funny one to end it on. And if you go up, you can't get in there when he comes out. You'll get shot. You can't hide anywhere. You can't go back to the dock. Nothing. So you need to distract him. So come over here. Walk over to this barrel. Remember, I was showing you these earlier. Well, if you do this, he'll get distracted and he'll go over there to see what that was. Now, use this again, and you'll notice how the music changes. And down goes the kidnapper.
The Indian lay spread-eagled among the barrels in the bottom of the barge. It was a long way down, too far to jump. It was an old, creaky, heavy, splintery wooden door. I wasn't going back out there. Oh no. The room was filled with transglobal crates. All the crates were firmly sealed. Oh, don't shoot! The little guy had a blowpipe. That confirmed my suspicions about what had happened to Nico. I waited for him to shoot me, but it didn't happen. Instead, he seemed to want to tell me something. What? You want me to get out? Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, what did he want? The little Indian fella wasn't about to let me past. Not until he'd got what he wanted. Whatever that was. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. Hi. I'm not going to hurt you.
Quaramonte.
Was that your name? Quaramonte?
Right, you can either, if you look at the notice board by the desk, you can find out what Coromante means. But I like doing it this way because George says something quite funny. But ask him about various things.
Tell me what you've done with Nico, and I'll share these biscuits with you. I knew it sounded lame, trying to bargain with a box of doggy snacks. Besides, how was he to know how yummy they tasted? Do you know what this is?
Peito. Lotseka peito. Inyakotlago inomutu.
This was the dart you used to knock out my girlfriend. If she's come to any harm, I will count you personally responsible.
Lotseka peito fnor.
What have you done with my girlfriend?
Huh?
I am not leaving without
So
her.
you can't
Where is
talk
she?
to this
He
guy.
didn't appear to
Look at
understand me.
Look at the filing cabinet.
A file cabinet. It was locked. There was a notice board beside the desk with an assortment of paperwork on it. Among the paperwork which adorned the notice board was something which caught my eye. It was a delivery note from Condor Transglobal, and the address was Coromante City. It's a place, not the little guy's name. Oh, I should have guessed he wouldn't have a stupid name like Coromante. There was nothing else of any interest on the notice board. There was a small drawer in the desk. Knowing my luck, it was bound to be locked. The only interesting thing I found was a small brass key. It was a small brass key. The guy was partly hidden behind a stack of crates. The little Indian fella wasn't about to let me past.
Quaramonte.
Not until he'd got what he wanted. Whatever that was. What does this key unlock?
Huh?
Hey, you're manacled. Who did this? That big thug? I'm gonna set you free, okay? Hey, come back here. The little guy had gone to ground amongst the stack of crates. It was an elevator to the upper floor. I couldn't pry the doors apart with my bare hands. There was usually an easier way to do it. It was the button to call the elevator. Just in time. Interrupting the beam of light kept the doors from closing and
Right, that
stopped
little
anyone
beep
from
was
using
actually
the
my
elevator.
converting stopping. So in a
What
minute
now?
I'll start the next one. I've got two more that I did earlier, but I have just converted one. So after this video, because I'll be doing it to the end of this part, I'll stop it and show you and then continue. I'm going to try and see if I can get partly through Quadamonte and maybe even complete that part of the game. I want to do like each part, you know, sort of like do each part of the game, then stop it and then start it from when I go to the next part, but I may just have to do bits rolling over. So all of South America will be done maybe as one big lump instead of just one over, just one, like one location, next location, because there's 3 parts to where we go next. Quadamonte is obviously a place, so we will be going there, but not until we've rescued Nico.
The crate bore the familiar logo of Condor Transglobal, but no clues to its contents. The large crate supported a smaller crate. It was a device to prevent the elevator doors closing when they were obstructed. Holding my hand in front of the eye would stop the
So
doors from
push this
closing,
box.
but I couldn't stay like that forever. There. That would keep the doors from closing. An unmarked switch. Tempting. It was the elevator call button. Nothing happened. That was probably because the elevator was already on this floor. The crate was labeled Danger. Live contents. Do not drop. There were small holes in the top and sides and scratchy noises coming from inside. But decided not to risk dropping it and meeting the live contents. It was a large crate with no label. The crate bore the familiar logo of Condor Transglobal, but no clues to its contents. I couldn't move the crate until I'd blocked the light beam with something else. No chance. Whatever those crates contained, they were heavy. I didn't want to risk dropping the crate and releasing its live contents. I noticed a faint mark on the wooden floor. There was an arc-shaped scratch on the floor, as if a door had been opened in the nearby wall. There was an arc-shaped scratch on... There didn't appear to be any difference in the paneling of this part of the wall. My fingers traced the outline of a secret door in the wall. Then I found a small round stud, which was set flush to the surrounding wooden paneling. Just as I'd hoped. A secret room. I realized the doors must lead to a loading platform high above the dockside. A sturdy beam was jammed across the doors. These doors were not going to open. The window was not designed to open. There was no way to open that window. The statue looked as if it was Central or South American in origin. It was a pulley attached to a long rail which ran the length of the building. It wasn't much use, though. No rope. There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. It was a hydraulic hand cart.
Okay, so you can't do anything, so
There wasn't enough room to move the handle.
venture in here.
The hidden door led to a secret room. Nico!
You have unlocked some bonus comic artwork. Well, thank you.
It was a grotesque little statue of a figure carrying a shield and a spear. Will you look at this? It was a small statue of a kneeling figure in an ornate headdress. The head was hideous, with huge staring eyes set in a decomposing face.
Hey, somebody's marketing Labano dolls.
Nico was trussed up like a chicken, but she didn't appear to be harmed. Hold still. This might hurt a little.
Ow!
Think yourself lucky you don't have a mustache.
About time. You could at least have helped me before grabbing everything you could find.
Not so loud, they'll hear you.
Get these ropes off me right now.
You know, the mood you're in, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Where's Pablo, the big guy?
Out cold. Too much wine doesn't agree with him. Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. Untie me this instant. George, where are you going?
I'll be back in a moment.
What about me?
Don't panic. Everything's under control.
So you can't do it. So I've just gone out because this is easy to do this bit before you tie up Nico. Or, you know.
It was Ubier's bank statement. It was the strip of masking tape which the big Indian had used to gag Nico. Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator.
Right, I'm coming up to 30
The
minutes,
crate bore
much
the
longer than what I
familiar logo
wanted
of
to,
Top-
but we're going to continue, we're going to keep going.
The masking tape I'd placed over the eye prevented the elevator doors from closing. I decided to leave the electric eye alone. The crate was labeled, "Danger. Live contents. Do not drop."
You can actually hear the scratching noises. Well, I can. Don't know if you guys can, but I can from my headset.
It was a hydraulic hand cart. The pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
It's really annoying because on the original you could double click and it would go straight to that location, but they've taken that away.
What?
Get me out of this chair!
That look in her eyes told me I'd better get those ropes untied, and fast. It was a short length of rope tied tightly around Nico's slim wrists. There. How you feeling?
Oh, thanks, Georges. How on earth did you find me?
I knew Oubier had been in Marseille. But never mind about me. How about you tell me exactly what's going on, starting with that Mayan stone?
I picked it up from one of Karzak's men in Paris. I was expecting a consignment of narcotics.
Drugs?
Yes. The proof I needed to expose Karzak's smuggling operation. I'd set it up to act as his courier, and once I had the proof, I planned to go straight to Inspector Mou. But instead of the dope I'd expected, they sent me that stone instead. And to find out more, I called Professor Oubier, who invited me to his mansion. At least, I thought it was Oubier.
I don't get it. If Karzak's business is drugs, why is he so desperate to get his hands on that stone?
Maybe it has some significance to the local people in Central America. It could be Karzak's means of getting them to work for him. Anyway, we've got to get out of here.
Nico, wait! We can't use the elevator. If that thug Pablo's recovered, he'll be waiting for us.
We've got to do something. Where does that door lead to?
I'm not sure. Okay, tell me what you know about Condor.
Condor Transglobal exports Aztec and Mayan relics from Central America to Europe. But that's just a cover for the real business. Drug smuggling.
What proof do you have?
Nothing yet.
Do you know where Condor is based?
In Central America.
I'm doing
A
this
place
now because it will
called
save time than
Paramonte.
talking
I
to
saw
her,
that name on
talking
a
to
docket downstairs.
Nico in Clemente, even though I think you can. But there's quite an interesting conversation that you have if you choose Inspector Moo when you talk to Nico. You can either say yes you do know him or no you don't. So I'm gonna show you each one.
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Moo?
Yes, you remember him?
No, I don't. A lot has happened to me in the last year.
He was the sergeant who disappeared while we were investigating the Templars.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
So
Did I hear you refer to Inspector Moo?
Yes, you remember him?
Well, of course I do. But I thought he was dead.
Oh no, he reappeared after the broken sword case had blown over. When he found out who was in with the Neo-Templars, he went into hiding. Moo knew more than was good for him.
Does he know about our involvement with the case?
If he does, he's not telling. Still, he got a sudden promotion.
Tell me about this Karzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, they're like a wild animal's, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Did you know Oubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Oubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Did that Indian guy mistreat you?
If you forget about the abduction, verbal threats, and bondage, no.
Well, what about the little guy?
I don't think he knows where he is or what he's doing here. The big guy, Pablo, he brought Titipoco from the jungle.
Titty what?
Titipoco. That's what I heard Pablo call the dwarf.
Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, George. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
Do you recognize this?
Is
Then
that
he
the
done.
dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. I found these in your bag.
Oh, they were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through Andre's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Look, the little guy downstairs was chained up with these.
That must have been Pablo's doing. I don't blame him, though. That little guy is dangerous.
You're still sore about that poison dart?
Of course I'm sore. What was it you wanted to talk
Okay, so
think
we
she'd be
now have to
interested.
try and get out of those doors. So let's go over to the statue.
It was the rope the Indian had
Quite
used to
funny
tie
when you
Nico
think
to a
about it.
chair.
So let's
Boy,
use this
what a
on the
souvenir.
statue.
The rope was attached around the neck of the statue. The rope and pulley were now attached to the statue. The statue looked way too heavy for me to move. It was a hydraulic hand cart. It was too heavy for me to move on my own. Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Okay, push!
Okay,
Great
so
teamwork.
I am going
Nice
to
to
go
be
now
working with you
and
again,
I will
Mr.
rejoin
Stowell.
you as we exit this area and move on further onto our next location. So stay right there and I'll be right back.